Dalen, someone I met in Portland a month back. What would you like to see in the next Super Mario Brothers movie that we didn't get to see in this one? Or would you like to see more of? Okay, so we're going to get a sequel to Super Mario Brothers. It's tracking right now to be the biggest opening ever for an animated movie, which would also mean it's the biggest opening ever for a video game movie. The Rotten Tomato score for critics is at 50%, which isn't great. Audience scores like at 98%. Cinema score is an A. Audiences are loving it. Everyone is going to go see it. I've already seen it twice because I couldn't take anyone, for whatever reason, we weren't allowed to bring guests to this at the press screen. Normally, for movies like this, they'll let me bring all of my kids and my wife. Normally, I get one guest, but for animated movies, I normally can bring my whole family, which makes sense. They didn't let us bring anybody. And so I saw it at the press screening, and then as soon as my kids got out of school on Wednesday, we went and saw it a second time. People are loving this movie. We're going to get a sequel. So what would you want in a sequel? Well, I think, without wanting to go too much into it, I think the post-credit scene gave us a hint as to where things could be headed. This movie felt very much inspired by Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3 for the NES, Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo, and some Mario Kart thrown in there. I think you could start getting into like the Odyssey and the space stuff a little bit in the future ones. And I'm not even really familiar with a lot of that stuff because I played in the 80s, well, a little bit in the 80s, and then I played the Mario games all throughout the 90s, and now I'm a Mario Kart guy, but I don't play the new regular mainline Mario games. So I think you could head in that direction with the space stuff that I'm not as familiar with. I think you bring Yoshi into it. If you want to change up the villains, you figure out how you do Wario and maybe Waluigi. The nature of the plot of this one sidelined Luigi. So he's our damsel in distress in this movie. So I think the second one, you make it about the actual brothers. I mean, it's Super Mario Brothers, but really it's Mario and friends. Other brothers actually over here. So you tell a story where it's very much about the brothers working together. And that's where maybe you bring in Wario, Waluigi, and so you kind of have that, a villain, where there's that element also of the evil brothers. I actually don't know the backstory on Waluigi. And, I played with Wario back in the day because, once again, that's my area. Waluigi, I only know him from Mario Kart. But you have a scenario where evil brothers, good brothers. I don't even know if they're brothers. The bad ones are brothers or not. But you bring something like that into it, and you kind of that family theme sort of idea, or finding family in odd places. So you have a different type of villain, different type of story, and you bring Luigi into the mix much more front and center, not just bookending the story where they got a company together and then they have a final battle together, but that whole story at the middle, make it about the brothers. Maybe you go to space with it, like I said, and do very Odyssey-inspired story. That's kind of off the cuff where I would think that I would go with it. Most of these clips are pulled from my weekly Patreon live stream. Join at any level, and you can join the chat and ask all the questions you want. That's for as little as $2 per month. For $5 per month, you can get your name on my end card. For $25 per month, you can have a monthly video chat with me. Link is in the description for more details, and keep talking movies and TV too much.